number 7 of your 21-day girl challenge. Congratulations on making it this far. We've worked so hard these last few days. I don't know about you, my body's definitely feeling it. We need this stretch class. It's gonna feel awesome. Let's do it. Getting started in an upright position, toes and heels are together. We're going to go into a half moon to really stretch the side of our bodies into a forward fold. So we're going to inhale our arms up over our heads, interlace the fingers, release the index finger, cross your thumbs. Take a deep inhale to first stretch up towards the ceiling, then slowly begin to bend the body to the right and to the left. So let's just do this a couple times. Arms can be straight or slightly bent, whatever you can do for today. And then when you're ready, meeting back in the center. So looking down, do make sure that your toes, your heels are touching. Gluing the palms together if you can. We're going to get started by taking a deep inhale to first lengthen up towards the ceiling and then slowly going up and over towards the right side of the room. Now I really want you to imagine as though you're pulling your left hand up and over. If this doesn't feel good, you could actually grab your wrist, your left wrist with your right hand, and that way you can really feel that pull as you pull the arm up and then over towards the right side. Really feeling this beautiful stretch happening in the left side of your bodies from the heels all the way towards your fingertips, coming down in one straight line. We're going to bring the right shoulder forward slightly, left hip comes forward. Take another deep inhale in, maybe create more length as you exhale, come down and push just a little bit more, and then slowly meeting back in the center. So letting that go. I'm going to do it on the other side. So deep inhale, stretching up towards the ceiling, this time going up and over towards the left side of the room, breathing into the right side body this time. So again, if it feels best, sometimes I like to do this because I can really feel myself pulling the arm up and then over towards the left side of the room, left shoulder forward, right hip forward, sending the breath this time into the right side of your body. Feet stay together, the weight is equal on both feet. Release the jaw, soften the face. One more breath all together, inhaling to create the length and exhaling, come down and push. Meeting back in the center. I'm just going to turn so you can see me. We're going to bend our knees, draw the low belly in, flat back. Take your time as you slowly bring your hands towards the mat. We're going to come into a forward fold. So you can just take a little bit of a shake here. You can shake the legs, the hips, the head, whatever feels good for you today. Before you find your stillness, let's have our toes or heels touching, bending the knees a lot. We want our stomachs to be sandwiched on the thighs. Now, if you can, you're going to scoop the heels up from behind, stepping on all your fingers, or you're just going to grab the backs of your calf muscles. What's super important here is that you're relaxing your head. So you're allowing the head to hang heavy below the knees, and I want you to bring your weight forward. Now, when you're ready, you're going to take a deep inhale in, and you're going to begin to pull. Pulling on the heels and then lifting your hips up towards the ceiling, making sure that your stomach, it stays sandwiched on your thighs. Relax the head, keep bringing the weight forward, and keep pulling your hips up towards the ceiling. Stomach stays sandwiched on the thighs, bring the weight forward a little bit more. Let's pull to your deepest point as you breathe and freeze. And change. Slowly letting that go. Bending the knees, stomach in. Inhaling up towards the ceiling. Bring your arms by the side of the body. We're going to slowly come down and meet down towards your mat. Coming into a cat-cow. As you inhale, let's lift our chest up towards the ceiling, lifting the tailbone. And then as you exhale, push the floor away from you. Draw the lower belly in, really curl in, and then continue as you inhale. You can go at your own pace here, lifting the chin up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, push the floor away from you. Draw the low belly in as you curl in. Inhale, arch the lower back, arching the spine, looking up. Exhaling, curling everything in. We're going to do 3 more on the breath. Inhale, look up, take your time. Exhale, really exhale all the air out. You have 2 more deep inhale. Getting a little bit more every single time, making your breath a little bit deeper as you exhale, full lungs. Draw the low belly in. This is your final one. Inhale on your own time. Exhale, let that go. Slowly sinking your hips back, knees come out. You can meet in your child's pose. Taking just a couple of breaths here. Feeling that nice stretch. Slowly coming out of your child's pose, sitting down on your glutes. We're going to go into a half dragonfly into a full dragonfly. So extending the right leg out, the left foot comes in, so the sole of your foot is touching the inner thigh. Both glutes stay down on the mat. You can always bend the knee and keep the foot down on your mat. Otherwise, all you're going to do is slowly begin to shift the weight forward and then slowly walking your hands a little bit more forward as you round down. We're just going to be here for a couple of moments before we're going to interlace our fingers, hook it around the right foot so that not only are we feeling a nice stretch here in the inner thighs, maybe if you also have a little bit of tension in the low back, you're feeling it release as you send the breath there. But as we move into that variation, we're also going to target the lower back as well, especially in the next movement that we're going to do. This half dragonfly is really, really good if you're sitting a lot during your day. This really releases the hips, the inner thighs, the glutes, the hips, really good. Dropping the head down, taking a couple of deep breaths, noticing where you start to feel a lot of tension in here. Send your breath there and just begin to notice how it releases. We're just going to slowly walk our hands towards the right foot. Either keeping your hands on either side of the leg or maybe interlacing your hands underneath the foot, and then slowly begin to allow the head to come down, maybe allowing the body to come down as well. And perhaps you're starting to feel a really nice stretch in the left side, left lower back. Again, if you have your knee bent, if you're coming into this variation, bend the knee. You can have the forehead come down towards your knee. Just a couple more breaths here. Again, if it's at the side of the foot, just allow the head to hang heavy. Let's take one more deep inhale in and out. Slow, slow, slow. Walk your hands out back to center. Walk them slowly back up. Allow the heads to come up last. With the help of your hands, slowly bring the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a quick squeeze. And then we're just going to shift right away to the other side. So this time the left leg extends, right sole of the foot comes in towards the thigh. And then we're just slowly going to begin to walk our hands forward. If you're super flexible, you can go as far as you want. Maybe it's just keeping the glutes down on the mat as you just begin to drop your head down. Again, it's going to feel differently for every single person. It's also going to feel differently every single day, depending on what you worked yesterday or the couple days before, maybe what you did yesterday. And again, don't hesitate. You can always keep the sole of the foot down on your mat as you bend the knee. So a couple modifications too. If you like to use, a pillow when you are stretching, you can sit on one. If you have any blocks, you can absolutely also have some blocks in front of you so that you can rest your head. Whatever works for you, slowly coming down. So for example, for me, I'm not as tight in my right lower back, but I am very tight in my left hip. So I'm fully feeling this stretch in my left hip because that's probably where I'm tightest. So it's just different for every single person. We're going to go into that variation, interlacing our hands behind the left leg. Let's just take one more deep breath here. Exhale it out. Slow, slow, slow. We're never in a rush here, especially when we stretch. You can also hold these postures for a little bit longer if that feels good for you. Again, if you have your knee bent, you can interlace your hands behind the foot, underneath the foot, sorry, and then just bring the forehead down towards your knee. Otherwise, if you do have your leg extended, you can bring your hands just beside your leg, like so, as you just drop the head down. Otherwise, maybe you're interlacing your hands behind, why do I keep saying behind? Underneath your foot, flexing your toes in towards the face, and then eventually forehead and knee touch. Otherwise, you can just stay right here, wherever feels the best for you today. Perhaps beginning to really feel that nice stretch happening in the right side of your body, in the right lower back, in the right glute. Sending your breath to the area that feels a little bit more tense, slowly allowing it to release. We're just going to hold here for one more breath. Deep inhale in and out. Slowly, slowly, slowly come right back. Let's, with the help of your hand, bring your knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a little bit of a rock, but we're actually going to go right into our full dragonfly. So full dragonfly, you have your legs extended, not very far. It doesn't have to be very wide. Again, whatever feels best for you. There's also the variation of keeping both legs bent as you just bring your arms forward and you just relax your head down. Otherwise, if you do have your legs straight, both glutes are down on your mat and you're just slowly beginning to walk your hands forward. I am very, very tight in my hips, as I've mentioned multiple times before, so I'm not going to go very deep, but again, whatever works for you, you can begin to relax your head. And then every couple of breaths, you're just coming down a little bit deeper. Now, a modification that you can do if you don't necessarily love this full dragonfly is you can come into a butterfly stretch. So a butterfly stretch is just keeping the soles of your feet together, and you can come into your forward fold just like so. Otherwise, meeting in your full dragonfly, relaxing the head down. We worked a lot of our inner thighs in our last couple of workouts, so I'm definitely feeling it in the inner thighs, in the glutes, in the low back, slowly coming down. Going to hold here for just a couple of more breaths. Again, you can do these stretches on your own time. You can click pause if you're feeling juicy in a stretch and you want to hold for a little bit longer. Absolutely, you can do that. But we're just going to hold here for 3 more breaths. So let's take a deep inhale in. Exhale it out. Let's take another deep inhale in. On the exhale, flutter your lips. Final deep, deep inhale in. Sigh it out. Slowly, 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 as if you're moving through jello. Walk your hands closer towards your body with the help of your hand. Lift one leg up, then lift the other. This time it might feel good to maybe just move the knees from side to side here as you just allow your hips to relax. Coming into a lunge stretch with a little bit of a calf stretch. We're going to come into bringing our right leg forward. Our knee is slightly further back, so a little bit further back from your hips. Now, it might be a good idea to perhaps put a pillow or something soft underneath your knee. If it's too much for your knee, you can come into a full lunge. Otherwise, you're just bringing the hands by the side of the foot as you begin to have the body be a little bit forward, feeling this nice stretch of the thigh, inner thigh, wherever you feel a little bit more tense. But we're just going to take a breath here before we move into our calf stretch. So take a deep inhale in, exhale it out. Now we're just going to sink our hips back And then we're gonna come into this calf stretch. So you can stay right here. Maybe you're sinking your hips all the way back, bringing the chest a little bit closer towards the leg, flexing the toes in towards the face, holding for one breath here. And let's move into that lunge stretch once again. So breathing here, feeling that nice stretch. Again, might feel good to have a pillow or something soft underneath your knee. Otherwise, if you are holding here in the lunge, you can just straighten your leg out. That's a really good modification, feeling really nice here. So again, whatever feels best for you, we're just gonna go into that calf stretch one more time. Let's take a deep inhale in, exhale it out. And then let's sink our hips back. Again, choosing to stay right here. Maybe you're just straightening the leg if you're in that other variation of a lunge, or maybe you like to sink your hips back. If you can sink your hips back, you can bring your chest a little bit more forward, and maybe you start to feel a little bit more of the stretch in your calf muscle. We're gonna hold here for one more breath. Exhale it out. Slowly coming back. Let's meet back into a tabletop position. Can shake the hips just like so, taking a second. And then let's move into the other side. So stepping the opposite leg forward. Again, you can be right here in your lunge, and then you extend the leg. Otherwise, hands by the side of the foot, maybe starting to realize if this side feels different, maybe it feels tighter, maybe it feels a little bit easier. Again, it's different for every single person, it's different every single day. We're just gonna stay here for one more breath in and out. Let's begin to sink our hips back. Again, if you're staying right here with the hips elevated, I want to see if you can flex your toes in towards the face. Maybe you're sinking your hips all the way back, but you're still curling your toes in towards the face. Perhaps bringing the chest a little bit further down, really feeling a nice stretch in the calf muscle. Wherever you are, you're holding here. Make sure you're not holding your breath at all. We want to make sure we're breathing in and out the whole time. Let's take a deep inhale in. Exhale out. Slow, slow, slow. Moving right back into that variation of a lunge. With our knee down towards the mat, if your knees are tense at all, again, soft surface underneath the knee, or maybe coming into this lunge position. Working and stretching, the same muscles, just a different variation. Maybe one day that might feel best for you. So we're just always paying attention to how our bodies are feeling. Even in our workouts, we want to make sure we're doing the best variation for our bodies for that day. Let's take a deep inhale in, exhale out. Let's sink our hips back for another little calf stretch. Flex your toes in towards the face, or maybe you're just straightening the leg if you were in that full lunge. Taking a moment, really feeling, enjoying this nice stretch in the calf muscles. Let's take a deep inhale in. Exhale out. Slowly, slowly, slowly coming back. Let's bring both legs back once again, maybe just shifting the hips from side to side, beginning to make our way in our child's pose position. So your knees are wide and you're really extending the arms forward. We're going to stay here in the center. We're just going to hold for a couple of breaths here. Not very long, but if you can, you're bringing your forehead down towards the mat. Extending the arms forward. As you inhale, you stretch your fingertips forward. As you exhale, you sink your hips back. Always trying to link our movement with our breath. making sure the breath is flowing. If at any point you're stretching so much where you're holding your breath, you're actually going a little bit too deep in the posture. So we're trying to find a really good medium where you can feel the stretch, but you're also able to breathe normally. We're just going to begin to walk our hands towards the right side of our mat, and then perhaps bringing the left hand over top of the right if you can. As you begin to sink your hips back, you start to feel a beautiful stretch happening all the way in the left side of your body. So sending the breath towards the left side of the body. Let's take a deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale it out. And then just slowly reverse that. Slow, slow, slow. Let's walk our hands towards center and then eventually towards the left side of our mat. If you can, you're bringing the right hand over top of the left as you slowly allow your hips to sink back. And this time you're starting to feel a beautiful stretch happening all the way in the right side of your body. I really encourage you to send your breath towards the right side of the body as you take a deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale everything out. And then slowly, slowly, slowly beginning to walk your hands forward, center, and then slowly bringing your hands towards the sides of your body, allowing the heads to come up last. We're going to shift our weight towards one hip and we're going to extend our legs forward. We're going to go into a forward fold into our final Savasana. Just a quick stretch today, but awesome work. I'm so happy that you are doing this challenge with me. We are on day 7, which is amazing. So coming into this forward fold, you can have your knees bent as you forward fold with your head down. I do encourage you just to relax your head. Otherwise, if your legs are a little bit straighter, you can have your hands by the side of the body, either choosing to stay here just like so, or maybe you can bring your hands underneath your toes, flexing your toes in towards the face as you slowly begin to lower the body into this forward fold. Just a nice gentle stretch here, letting that go. Noticing how amazing it is to stretch out our bodies. You know, you can do this stretch every single day. I really hope that you're at least giving yourself a couple stretches after class, maybe a little bit before class as well, but certainly after class, just to allow our bodies to recover, process the workout that you did. Let's take another deep breath in. Exhale out. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Coming up, we're just going to allow ourselves to meet in a Savasana position. Maybe just slowly allowing yourselves to come down so that you're working within the lower core a little bit more. And then bringing your arms by the side of your body, palms face up towards the ceiling. Scanning our bodies for any areas of tension. If you're holding, send your breath there. Feel your bodies melt, sink down in towards your mats. Relax the toes, relax the fingers. We're going to end your stretch class today with 3 full breaths all together. So let's take a deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale, full lungs. Let's do another one. Inhale. Exhale, full lungs. Last one, deepest one. Inhale. Exhale, let it all out. You did it. You completed day 7 of your 21-day girl challenge. I am so proud of you and I can't wait to see you for day 8.